Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Scully,
Yes?
marry me.
I love you and I like you.
I love you and I like you. I love that woman. I love her more than sharks love blood.
I love you.
You don't.
Hello, everybody. This is Nerd Nuptial episode 12, I think, and we just want to say thank you so much for everything that you do for us, because we have some really great news to bring to you guys.
We were nominated for 2 Parsec Awards.
That's right, DOSE, 1, 2, not 1, but 2 Parsec Awards. Now, some of you might be going, what on earth is a Parsec Award? What a Parsec Award is a podcasting award, and it's, you know, like To the Journey was nominated last year for it, my Star Trek podcast, and we're nominated this year for this one, and we're nominated in 2 categories. One being non-speculative fiction general, which whatever that means, and the one that I'm really excited about is best new podcasting team.
I know, that's so awesome.
How cool is that? Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's I think we have a chance to win. I do.
It's just an honor to be nominated.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you want to go the political route, I'd like to thank the Academy, and then maybe if we accept it, maybe we should talk about global warming or something like that.
World peace.
But yeah, it's still in the process of confirming the nominations. I feel like people have to nominate you, and then the group, like the Parsec group, then finalizes the nominees. So like not everybody who's nominated by the public becomes a nominee.
Okay.
And then of course there's the winners. To whomever nominated us, thank you so much. It's I don't know if it was one of you or a few of you or how I don't really know the logistics that well, but we appreciate you guys, and we will let you know when we know something about, like, if we gain a final nomination or if it's a way that you can go vote. I can't even remember like if the public can vote or not. But yeah, Parsec Awards, look it up, guys. It's a huge honor, and we thank you.
Thank you.
Now that we have some good news, we need to talk about some other good news, and that is Better Call Saul Season 2 is now over.
Yes, it is. I enjoyed the season. I don't think it was quite as interesting as Season 1, personally. How about you?
I was engaged. I was entertained. I was a little taken aback that we only got 10 episodes again.
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn I read somewhere that Season 2 of Better Call Saul got a 13-episode order. When we got to Season 10 and it said season finale, I was really taken aback because I was like, wait, there's still a lot more to do. Not much happened in Season 2.
Not a lot. No, I mean, I liked some of the moments and some of the character development, but I felt like it was kind of short-lived in some ways.
Yeah, it was, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine at work, because he loves the show, and he was raving about it, but he also agreed with me on this, is that in Season 1, the storylines between Mike and Jimmy were very intertwined. Mm-hmm. And like they still did their own thing, but every once in a while they would cross each other's paths. In Season 2, it was like we had 2 different shows.
Yeah, it was there, and I liked that interaction more. So the fact that we didn't get as much of that, I feel like maybe that's where Season 2 suffered a little bit.
I think so too. Even though I think both storylines were very entertaining, very engaging, I think it could have been better if they intertwined them more. Like we saw them together once or twice. Like once at the beginning of the season when he sees Mike and he's all beaten up, and then later on, he is his lawyer for like 5 minutes, and that's all that they have to do with each other in Season 2. It kind of makes me feel like it shouldn't be called Better Call Saul. It should be Saul and Mike, and the adventures, in their separate adventures. I don't know.
That does not make a very good title, though.
It's not very catchy. I'm just spitballing here. There's no wrong answers in brainstorming.
But there's some really cool stuff where the episode letters, is what you told me, episode titles spell out Fring's back.
The first letter of every single episode, if you take that first letter and then jumble them around, it spells Fring's back. And that's the thing. It's not even in order. It's not like
Right.
It's not the first episode didn't start with an F. The second episode didn't start with an R. It's just so somebody found this out almost immediately. Like the next day, they released the news that like, oh, there's this fan theory. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of stretching, just a jumble of the first letters. I mean, it could be a coincidence, maybe, I don't know. But then the executive producer said, no, yeah, we did that on purpose.
And you guys are a little too smart for us because we were hoping that people didn't notice.
Yeah, they sounded funny. Like they were a little disappointed that like, people found it out so quickly. I wouldn't have never figured that out because I'm not one of those people. Okay, here's the thing, is that whenever somebody finds something out cool online or does something really cool where they make a graphic or they make like a little video or something like that clearly took a lot of time to do, I feel like people always jump to, well, somebody's got a lot of time on their hands. And I'm like, screw you, okay? This person is awesome and you just aren't willing to admit it. Yeah, because I mean, the fact that people found that and multiple people apparently figured it out, I mean, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool that like people are that dedicated. Like and it could be just we got a super smart person where they just got the letters and like I'm just like picturing this beautiful mind thing where the letters are just floating above their head and then they put them all together and it says Frings back. And so I am not ashamed to admit that was completely lost on me at the end of the show. Spoiler alert, everybody. Spoiler alert. Like actually not much at the end. Mike is going to do something, and if you've seen it, we all know what we're talking about, and he's dedicated to it. He's like, it's going to happen, and it's going to do a huge shift in the show. But then he's in the desert, but he hears his car horn behind him, and so he rushes to the car, and somebody put a branch between the chair and the horn to make it run, and then there was a note in the back that just said, don't. And he's looking around, and he can't figure out who it is. Yeah. And the producers wanted us to think it was Fring. While we watched it, I did not think that. I didn't either. I did not think it was Fring. I had no clue who it was. Like, I thought it was like maybe the cartel guy that he's been in contact with, or I guess he's not a cartel guy, but the Salamanca guy that he's been in contact with. I was like, how did he get out there so fast? I was like, that doesn't make sense. But But we better get some Fring in the next season. Here's the thing: is that the EPs said they're like, yes, Fring's back. That was Fring at the end and everything like that. But don't think you're going to see him in the first episode of season 3. So that probably means the end of season 3. Exactly. I'm like, I guarantee you. In the world of television, that means the end. We're going to get like maybe like the last 5 seconds. We're going to see his face at the end of season 3. Like The Force Awakens with Luke. It's totally going to be a Luke Skywalker moment. It totally is. And we're going to be looking, like we were looking for it this entire season. Oh, yeah. Like there were several times when we were like, is that Fring? Are they bringing back Fring? Because I truly believe, like in my mind, it's like Darth Vader, Gus Fring. Yeah, he's pretty cool. That's how it is in my mind. It's true. Awesome villains. So yeah, I'm hoping that we see him earlier in season 3, but I think you're right. I think it'll be like the end and like, woo, we saw him at the end. This show is definitely taking its time. Yeah. You know what I wanted more of? I wanted more of him in the Cinnabon, like his sad life after all of the crap that went down in Breaking Bad. But we only got like a few episodes where that's how it started. I think we only got 2, right? I think it's only the season opener. No, we got another one. Remember where he got locked out in the garbage area? That wasn't at the beginning of season 2? Maybe it was. I think it was. Maybe it was. But I just feel like it's one of those things where I kind of wanted to see more of that throughout. I don't know. I'm okay. You're okay? Because it was depressing? Yeah, it was. I know. Super depressing. Because you see this guy who has all this potential, but then makes all the wrong decisions. And now he's working. But I guess that's the drama of the show. Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right. Well, we're not going to talk about Better Call Saul for the entire episode, folks, because we are going to be talking about something, or someone, I should say, that is very near and dear to our hearts. He doesn't know it, but we love him very much. It's like we're secret admirers. Yeah. Some would say stalkers, but let's go with secret admirers. Can I share the fact that on David Fincher's birthday, we went to a bakery and bought a cake, and
put happy birthday David Fincher on it.
This is why I feel like people would say stalkers or unhealthy as opposed to secret admirers.
I think it was hilarious.
So the cat's out of the bag. David Fincher is who we're going to be talking about
David Fincher.
and his films. But to clarify, we were at the grocery store. Okay, we were at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, we didn't go to a bakery, but still.
No. What I was saying is that we were actually buying groceries.
Yes.
And I said, I was like, hey, it's David Fincher's birthday, and you're like, that's awesome. And I was like, we should get a cake. And I said, is that weird? And
I'm like, no, it's awesome.
You said, like, any excuse to have cake.
It's true. Yeah, I have a huge sweet tooth, so.
And then I went to the baker and I said, I was like, I wanted to say happy birthday, David Fincher. And she's like, you want his last name on there? You don't want it just to say David? So
No.
I was like, no, I would like it to say happy birthday, David Fincher. And I had to tell her this twice.
It was awesome.
You started to walk away because you got
Yes,
embarrassed.
because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little embarrassed, but I definitely entertained the cake and was just so about it. But I didn't really want to be a part of the process of getting it.
I took a picture of it and I put it online, and I was expecting a lot of people to say like, oh, you're a loser, you're a nerd, what's wrong with you? And no one really commented on it. I don't know what they thought of it. I don't think they thought it was real. Like, I think they thought I just found it online and was posting
That's hilarious.
it. But yeah, that's basically with this preface.
We love David Fincher.
We love David Fincher birthday. It's August 28th.
That's
it's
right.
his birthday, 1962.
We have it in our calendar.
It is in our iCal, yeah. So it'll remind us.
Well, to basically get cake again.
Probably, yeah. It'll be a cake celebration. So yeah, we just we wanted to start a series. You know, we wanted to start a series of these podcasts where we talk about some of the best filmmakers that have influenced our taste, our entertainment life. And it's David Fincher is right at the top of the list. If you've heard any single episode of the Senate floor, you have heard me rave about
and Nerd
David
Nuptial,
Fincher.
let's be honest.
Yeah, and Nerd Nuptial, because we talk about Gone Girl and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo a lot. And it's just I just want to let people know it's not just me.
No, I am 100% just right there with you.
You are just as bad as me.
Yeah,
if not
I
more.
am. And actually, I suggested doing this because I was like, well, you know what? We want to talk about David Fincher, so let's just talk about him. Like, let's just get it over with. Like, come on. Our fans understand that we love him, so let's just go for it.
Yeah, if you guys don't like David Fincher, please still listen to this episode. Because hopefully we can convert some minds and hearts and,
That's right.
and everything like that. Because a lot of people think he's too dark or he's too demented. Like my co-host, Matt Hansen, makes fun of me all the time for my love of David Fincher because he just sees him as joyless. And I was like, no, I find much joy in David Fincher. But yeah, like hopefully if you don't like David Fincher, maybe, just maybe, if you continue to listen, we can pique your interest or whet your appetite.
And maybe, come August 28th, you'll be buying a cake too.
Maybe, you know what a person can dream. All right, so David Fincher, born 1962 on August 28th, as we said before. He started out working for a small production company, and then he got hired by ILM. He worked for ILM. He was an assistant cameraman and matte photographer. And he worked on Return of the Jedi and Temple of Doom. I mean, holy crap! I mean, that's
pretty awesome.
That's a great pedigree for such a young person, to work on. And he started getting noticed, and he started doing good work. And then he did a documentary, and then he started doing commercials, and then he found music videos. He is responsible for "Express Yourself" and "Vogue" from Madonna. Those are his videos.
Yeah.
Those
so iconic.
I know, it's absolutely iconic. They're burned in our brains. And like everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say Vogue or Express Yourself. And it's not just the music, it's the visuals that go along with it.
Right, it's true.
That was all him.
They're
Yeah, he
all
worked
linked.
with Madonna extensively on that. He started doing more promos, and he actually got really noticed after he did something for the American Cancer Society. That's the institution, the American Cancer Society, where I'm laughing because this is so Fincher. He created a commercial that showed a fetus smoking in the womb.
Oh my God.
And, you know, like, I think to most people, they'd be like, oh my God, you know, that's so terrible. Because that's totally what a mom is doing if she's smoking and pregnant. You know, like, it's basically just like the smoke going into their lungs. I'm sure that David Fincher was just laughing his ass off when he made this promo.
Especially listening to how jaded a person he is when it comes to stuff.
So jaded.
So, yeah.
Obviously, we love his television work, and we'll get to that. But we are here to talk about his movies. I mean, we're not just to talk about his life, because we don't know him personally, even though I'd like to. We can talk about the man by talking about his movies. And right off the bat, 1992, Alien 3. So there's a lot of differing opinions on this. Actually, probably not too different.
I was going to say, I think, doesn't he kind of ignore that exists?
He likes to. He does not like to talk about it. Like, if you notice in the Alien anthology that you bought me, the Blu-ray set, they had interviews with every single director and all the writers and all the producers, except
for David Fincher.
This was his first feature film with Fox, and I'm surprised he ever worked with Fox again. And he hated it. He hated the experience. When was the first time you saw Alien 3?
I think it was just a few years ago, actually.
Was it with me?
Yeah, it was.
I had forgotten that Alien 3 was the first time that you'd seen that.
Yeah. I think we talked about it when we talked about our favorite franchises, but I like it. I mean, obviously it's, in my opinion, the third best. But I like it, but I also see a lot of the flaws involved in it. And
absolutely.
I mean, some people just are like, oh my gosh, it's such crap. You know, it's so dark. You know, I mean, even the way it ends, obviously, that was a huge decision to end Ripley like that, you know? And so I feel like there were so many behind the scenes issues that we've, you know, heard about with the filming of it that that's why probably the film suffered. Yeah,
absolutely. I think the industry and the audience gave a collective pass to David Fincher, knowing all of the behind the scenes stuff where like Fox was just interfering like crazy, and he was young, he was pig-headed, and he did not want to cave.
He's following Ridley Scott and James Cameron. Like and this is your first film?
First film. I cannot believe that
It's kind of almost setting you up to fail. Like, that's rough.
I'm really surprised that they went with a director who only did music videos and promos beforehand.
Yeah.
Apparently what got him the job was that he met with the execs, and somehow he got noticed. I can't remember how he got noticed to do the movie, but he met with the execs, and they said, look, okay, you know, like, what's your vision? He's like, I want it on a prison planet, and I want her bald. He said it just like that. And they're like, well, what else? He's like, I'll figure the rest out later.
My gosh.
Like, and so like he was just so commanding, and he knew the hook, like he knew how to hook the execs. He said,
instill confidence.
And so I feel like because he wanted to do something different, that's what got him the job. And that's the thing. Alien 3 is very different.
It's very different. And I like the things he pitched. I mean, I like the prison colony. I like her bald.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think a lot of the part that suffers with that film is that they didn't continue the characters from Alien 2. I mean, from Aliens. But, I mean, it wouldn't work in that world. It wouldn't work in that storyline, I don't think, very well. So
No, not at all. And, like, they would have had to have done a completely different story. And that's actually a point of contention for a lot of Alien fans, because that was their favorite cast, was the Aliens cast, even more so than the Nostromo cast.
Yeah.
They loved Hicks. They loved Newt. And you have these great connections, these great personalities blending together. And then just in the first 5 seconds, they're gone.
Took it all away.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong move. And so that's why people are so excited about Neil Blomkamp's vision.
Yeah, in between, right? That's the idea, possibly?
We have
no idea?
Clue.
Okay.
Because
I've heard that, but...
Because the thing is that like the art that we've seen, it's an older Ripley. It's Sigourney Weaver, how we see her today.
Yeah.
And so it can't be in between 2 and 3. Maybe they got picked up once before, and then they had to rush back into the, into the vessel or everything like that. But he said he's not doing that.
Huh.
So he has to be erasing 3 and 4. There's no other way around it, but I think he's also been skirting the line on that too. Nobody has any idea what he's going to do.
I'm cool with it because if it has Sigourney Weaver and it's in the Alien universe, I'm good with it. So,
I am too. I mean, like, people get upset about erasing, quote unquote, erasing previous works from canon or timeline. I get kind of tired of that conversation because it doesn't, like, you put the Blu-ray in, it's not blank. Okay? Like, the movie still exists. We can still watch it. We can still enjoy it. Just because we're starting something different and starting something new doesn't mean the movies that you've loved or not so loved don't matter.
Well, I think that people probably would forgive this one a little bit more just because people have such hatred for Alien 3 and Alien 4. So I feel like if any franchise, they would probably forgive that,
It's true. Like, if they tried to erase Aliens...
Yeah, that would never fly.
People would be like, no, you're fired. Go away.
Yeah, seriously.
So, okay. Well, then, up next, he actually didn't do another film for 3 more years. I'm surprised he got another film. After Alien 3, must have sweet-talked his way into it. But Seven.
Oh, my gosh.
That...
Such a good movie.
Is an amazing film. And to think that he went from Alien 3 to Seven... That's what really upsets me, is that Seven should have been his first movie.
Yeah.
Even though I enjoy Alien 3.
I'm sure he considers it.
As far as he's concerned,
yeah.
That's his first film. Yeah. Seven is, his first collaboration with Brad Pitt, first of many.
Yeah.
And we got Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Gwyneth Paltrow. Come on, that's a powerhouse right there.
It is. It's a solid story, too. Even the concept of it with the 7 deadly sins and... And, the cast, you can't beat that cast.
When was the first time you saw this picture?
I'm embarrassed. It wasn't that long ago.
It was with me again.
Yeah, it was with you.
I keep forgetting this.
It was only probably like a year ago.
I think I tried to ease you into his grittier stuff.
Yeah, I think you were somehow protective about that one because there's so much in there that's kind of like disturbing imagery.
There is I think that's the reason why.
I think it kind of messed with your head a little bit, certain parts of it, and so I think that's why you were trying to you're like, I don't know if I should show you this because it's kind of a little bit more disturbing.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, and also I want to clarify something for people. Family and friends sometimes don't even get this, where the girls shouldn't watch that. They think I'm being weird or overprotective or misogynistic or anything like that. No, it's not that at all, folks.
No.
It's just because I know what you can handle and what bothers you.
Well, I think that, we talked about the X-Files and the episodes that always bothered me and then kind of freaked me out. And I'm honest. I know I'm an adult, but things still freak me out when I watch certain things. Were always the things about people doing disturbed things to others. Where the supernatural stuff doesn't bother me at all. It's always people with twisted minds, and Seven is definitely that.
That is the epitome of twisted minds.
Seriously,
yeah,
and going to lengths just to mess with people. Stuff like that always gets to me. Mm-hmm. So I think that you were just kind of protective, which there's nothing wrong with that, because you knew that type of thing bothers me.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, when I first saw it, I was shaken. There was one shot in particular that really shook me, maybe two, where I was just like, crap, I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah.
And that's something my mom always told me as a young person.
Mine too.
Everything you put in your head, you cannot take out.
It's true. It's so true.
I know this does not sound like a reigning endorsement for the movie, but if you can get past that, if you can get a hold of the TV version...
Yes, the TV version.
No, it's a great film. It's about a serial killer who kills people based on the 7 deadly sins, and Morgan Freeman is a detective on his way out, and Brad Pitt is a detective on his way into a new city, and it has one of the most iconic endings in film history.
Oh my gosh.
And Kevin Spacey is barely in it, but he is mind-blowing in it.
That character sticks with you. He's just so amazing in it.
When I think
so
of the devil,
scary.
I think of him.
Oh, yeah. So scary. So creepy. Calculated.
Yeah. Just disconnected.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the best shot films I've ever seen. It's the way that they play with the light and they play with darkness. Fincher has been maligned certain times for having underlit scenes. But the thing is, it's very realistic. You know, like if they were in a dark room, this is what it would look like.
True.
You know, like if they were in a room where the drapes were pulled, this is what it would look like, you know, and everything like that. And so, but the thing is, this is when he was still shooting on film, you know, like that's the cinematographer just blew me out of the water with this one. So like, if you're a film buff and you haven't seen Seven because you don't like Fincher, watch it just for the cinematography and the editing and the sound mixing. And also, actually, speaking of which, that opening scene, the opening title sequence is what made me want to become an editor.
That's right. I had seen that before because
I showed you that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was so awesome and so well cut.
It's so well cut, and it's set to a Nine Inch Nails song, and Fincher and Nine Inch Nails, Fincher and Trent Reznor, go together like mom and apple pie now, and so there's so many connections that he began here that we see come up later on.
Absolutely.
Next up after Seven is 1997's The Game, starring Michael Douglas, and we get a little bit of Sean Penn. This movie, a lot of people think this is a very underrated movie. John Mills, another host on the network, he thinks The Game is Fincher's most underrated film, if I'm quoting him correctly. I do believe that's his sentiment. I love all of Fincher's work. I love all of his movies, but I think The Game is my least favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
What do you think?
No, I like this more than certain other ones that he's done. Like, I think I like this more than, for example, Panic Room or Zodiac. I think I like this one more.
I was just so bored.
Really?
I was more bored with this than
Zodiac?
Than Zodiac or Panic Room.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I enjoy the thriller aspect of this, and I think it's well acted. And as a kid, I think it was fun seeing that twist at the end.
Right.
And I thought that was really interesting. And even just like the extent that this game takes, where you're changing everything about this person's world, and converting office buildings and all that. I thought that was really cool. So I like this one.
I like the mystique of it. I like Michael Douglas's character. I like how big of a jackass he is, and it's just I think I related to him a little too much in how abrupt and and how direct he was with people. It's something I'm working on. But yeah, I just felt like, if anything, it was too loose. It took too long to get to certain places. Although I had this on VHS. Well, my dad had it on VHS. Then I had it on DVD, just pretty much out of loyalty for Fincher. But it was a 4x3 letterbox DVD, and so I never watched it. I watched it once, and then I was just like, I can't watch this again. And then it came out on Criterion. If you guys haven't seen The Game on Criterion yet, it's like watching it for the first time. Yeah,
it's really well done.
It's crisp. It's clear. It's beautifully dark. And so for that, I appreciate it. Yeah, like I like Michael Douglas's character. I liked their use of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit. And I love the twist. I think the twist was great. But overall, I was mostly bored. I was mostly bored during this film.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know it takes its time, but I thought it was interesting. And I think it's also kind of, I can allow it a little bit more because of the timing of when it came out. Like, I feel like nowadays, if this was to come out, people would be like, oh my gosh, this took so long to get anywhere and whatnot. But I feel like I was still on board and engaged the whole time.
Okay, well, I think we can move on to greener pastures, and that is to the sublime 1999 Fight Club.
Yeah, this one I had seen before.
Yes.
You. Yeah. I think I watched it the first time in high school because, I mean, let's be honest, if you're a girl and you had a boyfriend, you had to see this this movie, right?
It's so true. I wonder how many girls I don't think I showed any girls this film, no, when I was in high school.
I feel like this is such a...
I had the poster just like every other high school boy and college boy.
I was going to say.
I feel like when you go to college and you're a boy, like if you're living in a dorm, they're like, okay, all right, you're in room 302. Here's your Pulp Fiction poster, and here's your Fight Club poster.
Or Scarface.
Or Scarface, yeah, there you go. At least in the time that we went to college.
Yeah.
Yes, so Fight Club, based off of the book by Chuck Palahniuk.
We both read that one, too.
Okay, for those of you who have not read it, read it.
It's so good.
It's one of the best
different.
books. Yeah, it's very different, and it's one of the best books that I've ever read. And it's Chuck Palahniuk's first novel. And what a fantastic novel to come out on the scene. There are certain parts, a lot of parts, that the movie improves on.
I agree, especially the ending.
Especially the ending. We won't ruin the ending for you of the book if you haven't read it yet, but we'd love to know what you think of the difference between the endings or the difference between the book and the movie. And so just go ahead and email us at contact@thenerdparty.com, or you can just go to thenerdparty.com straight away and hit contact from there. Oh, also, side note, thenerdparty.com is back up. Last episode, you heard me say that it was down. We were having some server issues. It's back up. It's newer. It's sleeker. It's awesome. So please go to thenerdparty.com. Okay, so Fight Club, Brad Pitt, Ed Norton. Okay, boom, sold right there. Brad Pitt and Ed Norton.
It's so true.
What did you think the first time you saw it? Like, were you just like, did it take time for it to grow on you? Were you like, oh, this is like a stupid boyfriend movie, or were you just in love right away?
No, I was in love right away. I mean, yes, probably the reason why I watched it for the first time was because of a boy. And I feel like every boy I talk to who are like in that generation that loves Fight Club, I feel like this generation, like the kids I teach and stuff, don't even know what it is, which is sad. But I feel like it's such a defining movie for them. Like for you, I know it is. This idea of consumerism and being a guy. I don't know. It's
what
just
it means to
what
be a
it
guy.
means to be
like
a guy.
challenging what it means to be a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of an interesting study as a woman watching it, because it's just kind of, you get a little bit into the head of some guys, not every guy, but it's just an interesting.
We have to speak in generalities,
right? Absolutely, but it's just an interesting concept, and I think that something that always was intriguing to me was just all the monologues that were in there. That just if you listen to, just to dissect and. And also when reading the book and like the foreword of how basically after this movie, Chuck Palahniuk was just so frustrated that he felt like his message did not get translated because people kind of saw it in a different light, like more as a fighting movie than as an anti-consumerist type movie.
I don't think Palahniuk blames it on translation of the movie. I think he blames it on the interpretation of the movie.
Right.
Where
no, that's not what I meant.
Well, oh no, I just wanted to clarify, because I think the movie played the themes very well.
Oh yeah.
But the public didn't get it. A big section of the public did not get it. And I hate to say that out loud, because I feel like that is a lame excuse that some people say. They're like, oh, you didn't like it? This is because you didn't get it. But there are people, like I remember I was in English class, and I think the teacher brought it up as an example of something. I don't know. Okay. And like a couple of students were just like, "Oh, it's a horrible movie." She's like, "Yeah, it is a horrible movie." Like one person's like, "What's it about?" And it's like, "It's just about fighting." And I'm like, "Wow, you guys have not seen the movie."
Yeah, that's not the idea at all.
Everything that you said, like challenging what it means to be a man, consumerism, like shedding your life of unnecessary stuff, like just not being a drone at work and everything like that. It spoke to a generation. Yeah. I was a little too young for me to be that jaded and, like be in the working world and everything like that. But I think you're absolutely right. It defined a generation. It defined that Generation X, and it just worked. And I think that's why it's so popular, is because it spoke to a community. Absolutely.
And I feel like I definitely don't think it would have gotten as much attention if it wasn't so well done by David Fincher.
Right.
I mean, you have an awesing cast, and you have Helena Bonham Carter. I love her in that movie.
Favorite role she's ever done.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Marla is just Marla Singer. I mean,
Marla Singer is Marla Singer. I mean,
yeah. And we have her on our wall.
We have a painting of Marla Singer on our wall. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's awesome.
And also, and like everything down from the cinematography to the editing to the soundtrack by the Dust Brothers, I had that on loop for years in my car. Like that is what I listened to whenever I drove anywhere from 1999 on.
Yeah.
It was such a fantastic soundtrack.
And even the idea of like just showing Brad Pitt in those little just flashes of Brad Pitt. I mean, that's just so amazing throughout the entire film.
And seeing Meatloaf in a fat
yes,
suit.
Yes. I love that character too.
There's so much about it. And also the twist at the end, like hardly anybody saw coming. And it's just, he does it to enhance the story and turn it on its head. And that's what I really appreciate about it. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say. It's just, there's so many things about this movie that is absolutely perfect, from the acting to the music and like I said, the shooting and editing and everything, the writing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just a great movie. So if you see one pre-century Fincher film, make sure that it's Fight Club. Now, coming into a new century in 2002 is Panic Room. This one kind of went under the radar a little bit. Like, this wasn't as well received.
See, that's interesting because this is probably one of the David Fincher movies that I saw early on. Like this was a little bit more tame that I was able to watch this one, I believe. Which is a little weird if you think about it.
Yeah, it's this one it was kind of like people were kind of split down the middle on this one. Even I am able to recognize its flaws, where I kind of am like, okay, it's there. It's okay. It's interesting what he does with the camera. Mm-hmm. Like he explores new things. Like you kind of see that first exploration in Fight Club where he creates a CGI camera and it spins around and goes from level to level. And it like that was pretty groundbreaking with the type of cinematography that he did. And then he continues that in Panic Room, but he makes it much more, I guess maybe subtle isn't the right word, but like he'll put the camera and it'll go through a keyhole and then go through the kitchen and then go through another keyhole or something like that. And in Fight Club, it was just crazy and swirling around and everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so for that, I appreciated it, but I don't know.
The story isn't very tight. And I mean, I think the performances are good. I mean, I think it's the first time you see Jared Leto.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, Jared Leto,
or at least I saw Jared Leto the first time.
It was the first time I saw him too. Yeah. And Forrest Whitaker's in it, Jodie Foster, of course, and the first time we see Kristen Stewart.
That's right.
Apparently, it was somebody else was in Kristen Stewart's role. I think it was supposed to be Nicole Kidman and Hayden Panettiere or Panettiere. I can't remember her last name, but the blonde girl from Heroes. I think it was supposed to be Nicole Kidman and her, and Nicole Kidman backed out for some reason. And then Fincher fired Hayden because he found her annoying. No joke. That is
and
what
not
he
Kristen
said.
Stewart.
And apparently not. Like apparently she's a dream to work with. But yeah, like it's. But then he got Jodie Foster and Kristen Stewart, and I like the two of them together. I think they had an interesting dynamic. But I don't know what it was. I think you hit it on the head. It's not a tight story.
No, and I think also how we get to that, like how we get from like to the danger is a little bit, it's like it takes too long.
Yeah. And
it's like that scenario takes a very long time to become interesting.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. That's absolutely right. It's like it's
because the concept of a panic room and like being trapped or in your house, and that concept is interesting, but it's almost like you need more to build the movie around, and it kind of felt like that is what we're building the movie around, is this secret room that these robbers want to get into for so I felt like it took us a long time to get to the action of the movie, even though they were in the house for a really long time, like the robbers were in the house for a really long time. And, it was interesting to see how the family's like trying to trick, like Jodie Foster's trying to use her brains to, figure out a way to get them safe, but it just takes a really long time to get there. So this is not one of my favorites.
Okay, so after Panic Room in 2002, we jump forward 5 years to 2007, and this is known as his hiatus, but he was still producing projects. He produced 2 projects in between Panic Room and Zodiac, Lords of Dogtown and Love and Other Disasters. Zodiac, 2000.
Which we've never heard of.
Yeah, well, I've heard of Lords of Dogtown, but okay. I haven't heard of the other one. So Zodiac 2007, this one was very well received critically. Like, critics loved this movie. This was one of the highest rated films of 2007, right up against There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men.
Really?
But the thing is, it barely made any money.
Huh.
Like, it only made 30 million in the States and 50 worldwide. So it was they made their money back, but not much else. And so it's kind of like the Arrested Development of films, where critics loved it, but nobody saw it.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of this movie.
I like this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about it?
I think the first thing that pops into my head about what I like about it is behind the scenes information. The stuff that Fincher did with CGI, he changed things in the industry, whether you're aware of it or not, with this movie. This was the beginning of what I call Fincher-esque hidden CGI. He was able to create so many new things and new shots with this. Some of it is very obviously CGI. I mean, it's 2007. You go back and you're just like, that was almost 10 years ago. So, of course, CGI is going to be much better today than it was back then.
Sure.
But there are certain shots where you can't tell. I mean, there's certain shots where you go back and you're like, wait, what? That was fake? Like, you watch the special features and you're just blown away at...
Yeah, I do remember doing that where we watched the special features. I had no idea that was CGI, which is pretty cool.
I love having that sensation of not knowing when something is a complete fabrication.
Right.
Like them driving down the highway and this woman, pulls over a car on a desolate road in some desert. All of that was fake. The car was fake. The headlights were fake. The woman was CGI'd in. The road was fake. It's like all these pieces existed, but then they put it together to composite it, and you never would have known it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess the cast in this one is not my favorite.
Well, we have Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
We have Robert Downey Jr. We have Mark Ruffalo, and that's about it that I can remember.
Yeah, and I don't know. It wasn't. I found it boring. I found this movie boring.
See, I found this way more fascinating than Panic Room or The Game.
That's funny.
I think it's because it was based on a true story.
Well, I do like that aspect of it. I like the conspiracy and the whole idea of them trying to catch this guy and everything like that. But I don't know. I feel every time I think about this movie, I think of the dark tones, and I think about. I just kind of feel like the performances were just kind of okay.
Yeah, well, they were. I think the studio was banking on Robert Downey Jr.'s performance to win some Oscars because he was really hot then, and he got even hotter as he went on, and because obviously he's just a monument to success today, and it didn't really. You could tell that he did not really work with Fincher that well. Like it kind of came across in his performance. It was kind of a lackluster performance. And if you read some of the behind the scenes things, Fincher experimented with digital filmmaking with Zodiac. And so because of that, they didn't have to reset the camera as much. They could just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. Robert Downey Jr. is a prima donna, and he did not like shooting for 12 hours straight. Old style filmmaking is you work for an hour, then you have an hour or two off. You work for an hour, you have an hour or two off. And so you just hang out in your trailer. So you're there all day, but you're not working constantly.
Right.
David Fincher makes you work constantly.
Yeah, well, he's known for that. He's known to take so many different takes of the same shot. But I don't know. I was not a huge fan. I think that was part of it. Was I didn't enjoy how long the story was, and I felt like it didn't really go it didn't go anywhere.
You were angry that they didn't tell us who the Zodiac Killer was?
Well, okay. Give me a break. I understand that was not possible, okay? But I just didn't feel like it gave me enough oomph in the performances and in the climax and everything. It didn't feel like I kind of felt like a waste.
I get it. I mean,
but I do admire it for what it how much he used the CGI and how well he used the CGI and whatnot. I just wish it was better.
I think this is one of those movies where I really enjoy it. I like watching it. The more I watch it, the more I like it. But the thing is, I don't fault anyone for not liking it. It's kind of like me liking Alien 3, is that I know it's not the best movie. I know that people, mostly dislike it, but I do, so that's kind of where I am with Zodiac, where I can't say it doesn't have its faults. I just enjoy it.
I gotcha.
All right, so moving on, we're getting into kind of what I think this is what I like to call the modern era of Fincher.
These are more of our favorites.
Like this is very much a turning point for him. And that is 2008's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. This was the movie where he got an Oscar nomination for Best Director.
This movie speaks to me.
How does it speak to you?
I love this movie so much. I definitely compare it to like Forrest Gump in its style, where, you know, you've got some far-fetched elements, obviously, because even the concept of him, you know, being this old baby and then growing up and then, you know, becoming young and everything like that. But I cry like several times during this movie, every time. Like, I have to be ready to watch this movie because I feel like it's so emotional. It is for me.
It is. No, it is
really emotional.
We don't watch it that often.
No.
Because of that reason. Because we're so connected to it.
Yeah, I love it. I love the performances. I love the journey. I mean, it's all about a journey. Like, that movie is just so... I think that they do, again, with CGI, I mean, talk about, like, all of the facial replacements with the bodies and everything like that. Like, how well done that was, especially for the time. Yeah. Yeah. I really love Brad Pitt and just...
he does a phenomenal job. Kate
Blanchett's amazing. I really love just the connections that he makes with each of the people that are important to him. And like when, you know, certain people pass away and stuff like that, you just like really feel it. And they do such a good job of establishing those characters in a short amount of time that you care about them when they do die. Yeah. You know, I think about like the woman with the dog, like, and I'm just like, wow, you really feel it when she and she just is like such a tiny part of the movie. Exactly. I love when they get together, Brad Pitt's character and Kate Blanchett's character, and they only have a mattress on the floor, and, you know, like how you see them like kind of just surviving and like be just being, you know, blissfully happy.
It was very real. That scene connected.
Very
to
real.
Us.
Yeah. I can't handle when she's like rocking him and when he passes away. I cannot handle that scene. And I can't even handle, like, in my opinion, one of the best, most emotional endings in cinema. Like, I'm serious, is that ending monologue where he, you know, he's speaking about all these different people, and you're in just seeing, in his life, and you're just like seeing each person, and you have her like, oh my gosh!
I was just about to ask you, are you getting choked up right now? It's like your voice is getting deeper.
Stop.
This is a podcast, sweetie. They can hear your voice.
I know. But seriously, like that ending monologue, it's just so powerful, and I think it speaks to every person. Stop.
It's okay. I'm not making fun of you. It's a beautiful movie. I love this movie. I love this movie just as much as you. I mean, I think I'm not trying to sound esoteric or snooty, but I think people who have a whirlwind love affair understand this movie. Yeah. And that's something that you and I have, is that we had that immediate connection right when we met, and all we want to do is be with each other. And these people, you know, were so beautifully flawed, and they go on different paths, but they always come back to each other. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful story. And this is one of his least well-reviewed movies.
That's so weird to me.
Right? I mean, it got a lot of nominations. So it was respected within the industry, but critics gave it a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. The only other ones of his films that are less than that is The Game at 71% and Alien 3 at 43%. Everything else is ranked higher. Yeah.
That's so crazy to me, because I just feel like this movie is just so well told. Yes, it's long, but it's a journey, and you have to kind of, I don't know. I love all the characters. I think the performances are amazing, and it speaks to me. So I don't know.
This was definitely his highest budgeted film. It was $150 million to make, and everything else that he's made is around like 50 and 60 million, including Gone Girl. And I think the next one was Girl with the Dragon Tattoo at 90 million. So yeah,
interesting.
But the thing is, it brought in worldwide 333 million.
Okay.
So, it more than doubled its budget worldwide. But that's no mark of success. I mean, like,
sure.
We can understand that. But yeah, this is probably this is probably one of his biggest departures, this film, from his works, because there's no psychos in it. There's no murder.
That's true.
I mean, there's a war scene, but it's, that's as far as it goes. And
I mean, it still ends sad in some ways, but it's like a happy sad. I don't know. Because he almost always has films that end in a kind of depressing way.
A gut punch.
A gut punch. But I feel like this one's more full of hope, and like, especially in the end where they talk about like all of the things he's done and been able to do with his life. I think that was kind of like its redeeming factor, that I don't kind of put it in that category of being dark and sardonic and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. To go back to what you talked about the scene with the baby, where Kate Blanchett puts the blanket over his face once he dies. Apparently, the mom of said baby was on set, of course, during that day, and they didn't tell her that Kate was going to do that. What they did was they just filmed her for a while until the baby finally fell asleep. And then once Kate Blanchett recognized that the baby was asleep, she started to act, she started to let go, and then she just put the blanket over the baby's face to recognize that it died. And apparently the mom was really like upset. Like it just it touched her in a very negative way. And she got very angry with the filmmakers for not telling her. And like David Fincher, because he's a crazy person, was just like, oh, what? Oh, okay. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to tell you this. So, So the mom on set had the same reaction you did.
Like, well, I'm sure a little bit more since her baby. But
yeah. I can't say anything more than what you said. You covered it perfectly. It's everything that you said is how I feel about this movie.
Well, I'm embarrassed because I got choked up, but I really connect to this movie.
I want to say one thing before we move on to the next film. I remember that we were walking out of the theater. Both you and I were just like silent. We were just like, oh man, just like we're just soaking it in. And there was some jerk behind me with his group of friends, and like all of them were saying like, oh, that was so great, that was amazing, I loved it. One guy's like, eh. And his friend says like, why? That was great. He's like, they never explained why he aged backwards. It was unbelievable. I wanted to know why. Like, what's the medical reason? And I was like, you are so dumb. Like, oh my gosh, like you have, like, in order to enjoy the film, you have to buy the premise.
Oh,
and
gosh.
It's just like, that's what happened to him. That's how it is. I'm sorry we don't live in a CSI world.
Right.
Like, I think that's what it is.
I think it is.
We live in the CSI world where
Explain
everything has to be spoon-fed to you. Everything has to be splashy. Everything has to, quote unquote, be tied up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's horrible. Everything has to be so goddamn literal today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's sad that movies like this that, take it in a different direction aren't as well received.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to move on because we're going on for a while. This is becoming a long episode.
Well,
but
I knew it would be.
Of course, so we're moving on to 2010's The Social Network. This was kind of a game changer for Fincher. This was a very, very well-received movie. It got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and I think it has to be mainly because of the content.
Oh, yeah.
And the timing of when it came out and whatnot. I love this movie. I think it's great.
It's a fantastic film. I mean, there's not much you can say because it's so great. It's such a near perfect film. I mean, the performances are top notch from everyone. Justin Timberlake gave an amazing performance. I never thought I would say those words.
Seriously. I think also this movie is such a great biopic, and I'm such a sucker for biopics.
You really are.
And I think it's just such a great story that he was able to tell in a very good way.
Yeah, very well crafted.
Yeah.
And this was the first pairing with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for the music. And if to me, when somebody says Social Network, I think music.
Yeah, the music's awesome in it.
The music is spot on.
Yes.
And it was like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross convinced Fincher to go in this direction. Because I remember hearing him talk about how when they made a cut of the film, they sent it to the composers, and they had some scratch tracks on it. They had some like just canned music that they put underneath it to give them kind of a feeling of what they were going for. And like that opening scene where Jesse Eisenberg's character, Mark Zuckerberg, is running through the quad and it's snowy and in flip-flops. Like that was all like a guitar ballad and like just like a college song. And if you go back to it now, it's like it's drones, somber piano, and it sets the tone for the rest of the picture.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I think that I feel like it feels different than some of his other films too. I feel like it definitely sets the tone of like, I feel like Dragon Tattoo and Gone Girl feel a lot like the Social Network. I feel
the way he shoots it.
Yes, the way he shoots it is very similar, which we love. But I feel like the content is a lot more fast-paced than some of his other films.
Yes. There's a lot of information that he has to pack into a 2-hour window. Yeah. I think that's the thing, is that all of this stuff really, well, I shouldn't say all of this stuff really happened, but like the broad strokes of all of this stuff really happened. Like these meetings happened, or this amount of money happened. These kind of subscribers happened. Like granted, they don't know what happened behind closed doors necessarily. And so that's the thing, is that like, I don't take this, I take this for what it is. It's a movie.
Right.
It's a movie about a situation of what they think happened.
Exactly.
And so I don't look at Mark Zuckerberg any differently. Not that I viewed him in any particular light. But a lot of people thought it was an attempt at a character assassination. I just don't really care, because it's just a movie. I think it's an interesting story. And I didn't even actually dislike Zuckerberg in the film that much. I thought he was interesting.
Well, and they gave him some humanity too, in his own way, where you could tell he felt bad for certain situations happening. So I don't, if they really were trying to, hurt his character, it would have just been very much so a, black and white type character where he's just like all bad. Whereas I feel like they did give him some dimensions.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, I think, just the way it was cut, the way it was shot, the way it was performed. We got some great actors, great young actors.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's an Aaron Sorkin script. I mean,
you can't beat that.
You cannot beat an Aaron Sorkin script. And this is the movie that, like, when Steve Jobs, the movie was coming out, I was just like, oh, please let Fincher direct that. Please let Fincher direct that, because he did such a great job with Social Network. Yeah. And it's an Aaron Sorkin script. I feel like if it wasn't Danny Boyle and it was David Fincher, that would have been a much better movie.
Yeah, I didn't really like that movie very much.
No, I think it was hyped up too much, and it just not a lot of payoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about The Social Network? I think it's a great experience. It's a great ride, and a lot of people, the critics liked it, and I think a lot of the audiences did too. I think this movie introduced a bigger portion of the world to David Fincher than what had been before, because he was so niche, because he was so dark and somber, serial killers, perverts, and everything like that. Like this film kind of opened it up, because my first reaction was, I was like, oh, it's a movie about Facebook. I don't even really care. I don't have a Facebook. I don't want anything to do with that. But it's not a movie about Facebook. It's a movie about the creation of Facebook, which is much more interesting.
Right, and the relationships and the betrayal.
The backstabbing. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, what's next. 2011.
The year we were married.
Oh, that's right. The year we were married. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
That's right. What is there to say?
It
hasn't already been said.
We won't spend a lot of time on this, folks, because we know that we have talked about this a lot with you guys. This is one of our favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
Not just our favorite Fincher film, but one of our favorite movies of all time.
Right.
I think this is a very, very underrated film. It got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's often forgotten, and I don't know why. I think it's because they wanted it to do much better financially, and it didn't. It was supposed to bring in an era of new adult rated R films, and it didn't really achieve its goal. And so that's why we're not getting any sequels, at least with Fincher and the original cast. It's just, what is there to say? Just the mystique, the performances, Rooney Mara, Daniel Craig together they're fantastic together.
Yeah, I love their characters, and I love their interpretation of the events. I love Fincher's interpretation of the events. Like we've said before in previous podcasts, we've read the books, seen the Swedish versions. We know pretty much everything Dragon Tattoo. And this is our favorite interpretation because I feel like certain things that he changes, I like better.
Yep.
Certain events that happen, I feel like he does a really good job of making it happen in a more cinematic way,
Yes.
that it's much more interesting to watch. Like I said, we love the books, but I feel like he does a really good job of making everything more compact, because those books are very long and very detailed.
Yes.
And still keeping the feeling of the book and the characters that are so important to the book. And I just love this film.
Yeah, it's just I think the main appeal to me is definitely Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
they play those characters so well that it makes you want to see more. You care about these characters immediately. You care about what happens to them, and this is one of those movies like Seven where there's things in it that is very disturbing. It is very, very disturbing, and I could have done without it, but I understand why it was put in. You have to respect the source material.
And I think that's a lot for us when we watch a movie. When there's a purpose to certain like violence or, sexual things that happen, we're able to excuse it a lot better if it's just like to titillate. It's like the violence and the sexual stuff that happens in that film, for the most part, is not to do those things. It's to tell this story of these people who, like, the title of the Swedish book is Men Who Hate Women. So I feel like you can't help but tell that story with those elements. And so it makes it okay. Is it disturbing? Absolutely. It's not okay.
Do we hit the chapter skip every single time? You bet.
Yeah, because I don't need to see that again. I don't need to see those things.
No.
But as like a mystery story, it's just amazing.
See, that's the thing. I think you hit it on the head where this is not like Game of Thrones where they just throw in a rape scene to shock you and it has no bearing on the story or what happened.
I can't handle that.
No, it's horrible. And I'm glad that there's a backlash. There's an audience backlash for that trend where people are saying, listen, you can tell a story without putting in a rape scene. Even if it involves rape, you don't have to put in the rape scene. But the thing is, with Dragon Tattoo, it's not a rape scene thrown in.
No,
the story is about a rape victim.
Exactly. I mean, if you didn't have that moment, you wouldn't be able to tell the story.
Right.
And so it makes sense.
It's not gratuitous.
No.
Even if it's graphic.
It is.
It's not gratuitous.
Right.
And like I said, we skip it every time. Like when we watch it, we just hit the skip button and we move on.
Yeah, because I don't want to see that. I don't need to put it in my head. I don't want to relive that idea. Even is very disturbing, but there's a purpose to it, and I think that for our movie going experiences in TV, what we choose, we're pretty liberal, and we we're maybe a little jaded to some things compared to other people, but we really look for, is there a purpose to it?
Right. Also, this is probably this is in my top 2 favorite music of Fincher because of because of Dust Brothers and Fight Club. And this one, I love this one. I've been trying to get a vinyl of this for
expensive.
years, but it was a limited edition. They only made a handful of them, and I think it's something like $350.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just like, I am not willing to drop that kind of cash.
It's a lot.
All right, well then, finally, the wildly successful 2014 Gone Girl.
Yeah, I love this film too.
Everybody knows this movie. This was a whirlwind. People loved this movie. This was very well received. This made a lot of money. This is his top grossing film of all of the movies that he's made. And it only had a $61 million budget, and it made almost $367 million worldwide. That is a huge return on investment. And this skyrocketed Rosamund Pike's career.
Oh, yeah.
And this made me respect Ben Affleck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As an actor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love how Fincher also made sure that they didn't give too much away, because it's such a best-selling novel that it would be very easy for that to happen, and to kind of just go with it, like show everything that's going to happen in the movie. But they specifically showed like her sinking to the bottom of...
Well, they only showed footage from the first act of the film.
Yes. And then they showed like that flash of this is what's going to happen to her. She's going to kill herself or we don't really know.
It could have been a
trailer.
dream.
Yeah, a dream type of situation. But I love the actors that they chose. I feel like you said they did great performances, and I love a mystery. Like, I think I'm such a sucker for a mystery. And I feel like it's it ends in such a way that is so Fincher. Where, he's like trapped in this marriage and she's gotten away with all this stuff. But it's just so interesting.
I think that's the thing, is that not only are the actors doing a fantastic job, like even down to the supporting cast, like when you have Tyler Perry, as the lawyer.
He was awesome.
You have the woman who plays Margot. I mean, everybody did an amazing job and gave 100%, and you felt it. Like, these people wanted to be in a Fincher film. These people wanted to work. Maybe Ben Affleck a little less so. He didn't like as many takes. He didn't like the takes that he had to take. So much of this movie, I mean, like, when we were a little hesitant, even though we're huge Fincher fans, obviously we love Fincher. When we saw the trailer for it, we were just kind of like, is it going to be okay? Like, we don't really like Ben Affleck, and I've only seen this Rosamund Pike person once before, and okay, we'll go see it. We trust Fincher, and we came out of it just going like, wow, what did we see? That was amazing. The death scene of Neil Patrick Harris was
oh my gosh,
on another level.
Seriously,
and it just wowed me. It just utterly wowed me, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, and I feel like so many of Fincher's movies I appreciate more. I think we've said this before. The rewatch value of watching them again. I appreciate certain things more every single time I watch them. And I mean, I just always want to watch like Gone Girl and Dragon Tattoo.
Every single time, yeah. Every single time I say like, hey, what do you want to watch? You pitch those two.
I know.
Oh. Well, that's all of his movies, and I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention at least House of Cards. Now, we have talked about House of Cards a lot on this show, and so we won't do it again, but we just want to say that was one of the reasons we were so excited for the show. It's because we knew that he was going to be involved with it, and then when we saw trailers for it, we're like, oh,
it is so Fincher. He set the tone for it. I mean, it looks like the entire series looks like a David Fincher film because of the tone that he set from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, so obviously we love that. And he's coming out with another Netflix show called Mindhunter. And it's about FBI agents profiling serial killers.
Which is totally up my alley. I know. I'm so excited.
I mean, like, if you don't, like, David Fincher's serial killers, FBI profiles. Holy crap.
And Netflix. So that means I get it all at once.
Yeah. It's just, where do I sign up? Oh, that's right. On my Netflix membership. That's where I sign up. I am so utterly excited. He's gone through a few television projects that have started and kind of failed during pre-production, some even during production with HBO and some other network I can't remember. And so I'm happy that this is actually going through and this is actually happening and that he's staying with Netflix. And yeah, if we could get another House of Cards.
Absolutely.
Like love affair. I think that would be fantastic.
Seriously.
And right now, I don't know what else is on the docket film wise. I don't know if he has a project that he's willing to talk about yet that's coming out on film. Thankfully, he's not doing that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie.
Yeah, that was such a weird thing to even be brought up.
I was so confused when I heard that he was attached to direct that. I was like, why? Why would Fincher do that? Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. That is our entire retrospective of David Fincher's career. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that maybe we gave you some reasons to see some films that you haven't tried, or maybe go back and rewatch some films that you didn't like the first time. Maybe we put it in a new light. And if you do that, if you watch a movie because we recommended it, please email us because
we want to know.
People have done that before, and it really it makes our day when we know that we can influence you in a positive light. And so you can email us at contact@thenerdparty.com, and please make sure to go to our website at thenerdparty.com. You can find me on Twitter at @theinsanerobin. We just started a brand new Twitter account for the entire network, and that's @joinnerdparty. Again, that's @joinnerdparty, and you can also find us on Facebook on facebook.com/. The Nerd Party. And speaking of the network, we have 2 other fantastic shows. We have The Senate Floor, which I co-host with Matt Hansen. It's a general geek podcast. We love our list. And we have Aggressive Negotiations, the Star Wars podcast with Matt Rushing and John Mills, 2 very talented podcasters. And girl, you and the listeners need to pay attention because we are releasing something very cool and very special on May 4th. Which is National Star Wars Day, because May the 4th be with you. And so everyone pay attention to May 4th for a special edition of Aggressive Negotiations. Well, do you have any final thoughts about Fincher?
No, I hope that he makes more things because we're in Fincher we trust.
In Fincher we trust. We need more content. And actually, like speaking of content, like if you're thinking about starting your own podcast, if you're thinking about doing your own thing, there's one company I want to talk about. It's called Rogue Amoeba. Rogue Amoeba is a company that produces a few programs, and a lot of them can be used for podcasting. We're actually using some of their programs right now. We're using Loopback, and we're also using Nicecast in order to produce this podcast for you guys. And I've reached out to the company. They reached back, and I told them that I love their product, their products. I think they're great. They work, and so I just really want to, like, they're not paying me to do this. I just really wanted to talk about their company. Go to rogueamoeba.com, and they have some amazing products if you're thinking about starting your own podcast. And also, if you want some free entertainment, I know Nerd Nuptial is free. But if you want some more free entertainment, you can go to audibletrial.com/nerdnuptial. From there, you can pick from over 180,000 audiobooks to have read to you. Whether you can listen to them in your car, on your Android, on your iPhone, on your Kindle, or wherever you listen to audiobooks. You get a free audiobook and you get a 30-day free trial. Absolutely free, no obligation. Use audibletrial.com/nerdnuptial.
I love you.
I know.